we're here with Richard Zwicky of Inquisitive, and I want to start by asking you a little bit about your background.
Oh, thanks, Mark. I run I'm president and founder of a company called Inquisitive Search Analytics, which I started just almost 2 years ago now. And we're bringing products to market for search marketers designed around improving your ROI, helping you run campaigns more efficiently and faster. And prior to that, I built an SEM firm called MetaMed, which is still going. And I've been doing search engine optimization and search marketing for about 10 years now.
Okay, so I noticed in your session that you were talking a lot about search engine optimization and how do you prove ROI with search and kind of justify, that.
Sure. So one of the issues that exists is in PPC, it has the perfect business model where the supplier, the vendor, the agency or the consultant, and the agency, the advertiser, are on the same side of the table. They both agree on the target, and they're both incented exactly the same way. The advertiser allots a campaign spend, which may be like $50,000 a month. And based on how effective the campaign is, they'll run the campaign that month. If the ROI is strong, they'll reinvest the following month. If the ROI is strong enough, they increase investment. So that becomes self-funded. The model is perfect in that everybody wins together. Whereas in SEO, in email marketing, newsletters, and every other form of online marketing, it's a fixed rate contract system where there is no incentive to perform. And that's an important piece because on one side you've got a pure performance-based incentive model, and the other side is a rate-based incentive model where the vendor will take a look at it and say, the amount I'm getting paid is worth X number of hours. And it will only work that many hours at most on the campaign a month to move forward the campaign. If the ROI is strong, well, the vendor doesn't get a penny extra for doing a good job. If the ROI is poor, they just lose the contract. The advertiser suffers. The vendor still walks away with the same amount of revenue. But if the campaign does really well, the vendor doesn't profit in the upside either. So that's a broken business model, which quite honestly needs to change, especially in these uncertain economic times. That vendors, advertisers need to know exactly what they're getting for their dollar spent and know they can count on getting the most out of it. And a fixed rate contract model system, which is what we live with today, it has to change.
So if I'm currently an agency that has a fixed rate contract system, what do you recommend to kind of step forward into the pay-for-performance model?
Sure. So you have to start looking at ways of getting compensated based on conversions, value delivered. Now, PPC you get compensated against referrals, but you tie the referrals against an ROI against conversions. There's no reason that you can't start looking at, especially in the early part of, you might have to do a blended contract as the pieces move together, but in reality, in the long term, there's no reason that you won't be able to move forward towards a true performance-based model tied against conversions. Whatever conversions are, be they actions which are non-monetary, means on or true sales, which are generating direct revenue back to the site. So you need to use your analytics to track in a much more defined way, and you need to use a variety of applications to start putting together different values. And there will be products coming to market shortly which will assist you in doing so.
Yeah, that sounds good. So, you're kind of recommending a holistic, just per conversion based contract.
Sure.
Across all media.
Why would newsletter campaigns, which are sending out hundreds of thousands of newsletters, be compensated any different than PPC? They're trying to generate leads and they're trying to generate sales. Why would you compensate the vendors providing that service accordingly?
So my next question then is, how do you prove to the client what is a conversion previous to your work?
Sure. So you've got a few different things. You've got you have to be able to take into account the baseline. What are you doing already? Absolutely, no question. New email blasts, new newsletters, new links coming in, blog posts are obvious. They're new, they're easy to do attribution. The other thing is you can track attribution across sessions. It's not just what happened in this one visit, it's what happens in the cycle of visits together draw the customer in, because also attribution is very poor, even on the PPC side, where a visitor may come in for a chart from PPC and then come back from organic search and make a purchase. Now, that attribution should be shared between the two. People haven't been doing that.
So hybrid tracking is really where it's at. So what kind of, could you recommend, more and more. So what kind of tools would you recommend to start with that?
Sure. So I mean, obviously I'm going to recommend our own, but we're not, because you can do the organic hybrid tracking over multiple sessions. You could configure Omniture to let you look at attribution over multiple sessions. You could also do that with web trends, but it's a little more difficult. The reality is there needs to be something new in the marketplace to fill that need.
Okay, so...
Or to get all true holistic view.
Sure. So you're just recommending that whoever it is out there that can build this blended sort of analytics platform. And you guys are taking on that, aren't you? Or
we are taking on a large chunk of that, yes.
Okay.
But the reality is the industry, both the advertising and the agency, needs to start thinking about new ways to monetize their businesses, which are very performance driven, because otherwise we're all doomed to failure, because we're not delivering enough value to the advertisers if we don't get this performance. Because if those of us who are really good at SEO can deliver tons of qualified traffic that generates sales. But we're hamstrung and we're limited to how much effort we're willing to put in, because we're not incented to go that extra distance. And that's not serving the advertiser well in the long run. It's not serving ourselves either. We want to blow it out of the park. You know, a good SEO would rather have 5 really great clients who he's knocking out of the park with days after day than 25 clients where he's incrementally improving their business.
So would you say that, or would it be right to say that right now in the search industry that's kind of the main hinderer of us moving forward as an industry?
I think so. You know, we're going through phases of growth, and this is one more phase that we're about to confront head on.
Well, thank you, Richard, for your insight.
Thanks, Mark.
It was great to be here with you.